Well, hello there. My name's Amy Holmwood, and I'm delighted to be with you tonight and to share with you my health history and a little bit about why I'm so excited about all the changes that are going on right now in this whole new area called nutrigenomics and biohacking. And I'm going to share some slides with you guys, but I first want to just kind of go through a little bit of my history and just let the challenges that I've had throughout my life. I started out as an asthmatic child and had just years and years of being in the hospital until I was about 14 years old. So I had to take a lot of steroids, a lot of antibiotics, and I also lived on Nantucket Island as a child. And I unfortunately had multiple exposures to deer ticks. And that was not something that people really knew about This is back in the, in the 60s and in the early 70s. And so as I grew older and I grew out of the asthma, I was really fortunate that my mother was a chef and she was also had some health issues. So she really got the whole family on a more holistic approach to medicine. And with she was even macrobiotic for a while. So I was growing up eating a lot of whole foods. And so that was a savior and actually was something that I didn't really realize how fortunate I was until I got older. And I actually was diagnosed with Lyme disease when I was in my early 30s. And so for about 15 years to 20 years, I was just taking 20 to 30 supplements a day. And I learned a lot about supplements, the supplement industry. And also I learned a lot about the science of supplements because my doctors were really educating me on this whole area called oxidative stress. It's a condition in the body that's like an inflammatory condition that causes a rusting phenomena in the body. And that is something that every mammal is exposed to. And so this is something that a lot of doctors don't talk about. And I want to share some information with you guys tonight because I really want people to know about oxidative stress and about what the options are to try to get rid of oxidative stress, because it is something that we can manage. Most doctors don't talk about it because it's not something that they even really have a solution for because there's no medication for it. So in this sort of new progression with technology and diagnostic testing that can be done today, we're at a whole new place in the area of health and wellness. And there's a huge movement going on with this, which is something that I got excited about because there are ways that the doctors aren't talking about that are out there. And I think most of us that have had chronic health conditions have realized that we have to be our own advocates. We have to be the ones who fight for our own survival because most doctors don't understand anything outside of their Western medicine education and with medications. They don't really look at disease prevention. And now there's a movement that's happening that's shifting, and it's something that I feel really passionate about and I want to be a part of. And within that category, there's something called biohacking. And so I started biohacking really 25 years ago when I was using supplements. And I was using, I didn't know that I was biohacking. I knew that I was I'm going to show you guys some of the testing that I've had done. I was doing genetic testing on my body to see what kinds of foods that I should be eating to be able to make my body perform at a better level and also to be able to detox. When you have Lyme disease, you have significant amounts of oxidative stress, which is this inflammation that builds up. And that's why people get brain fog. They get a lot of arthritis. They get even heart cardiovascular disease. They get all kinds of nerve damage and peripheral neuropathy and things like that. So food is super important, like food as medicine. So I was biohacking, when I got diagnosed, I started just doing everything but antibiotics because I had taken so many over my early years. I was really against it, at least in large doses. I did have to take antibiotics 3 different times for my Lyme disease. I do want to just be really clear with the stuff I'm going to share with you guys tonight. It's not intended to treat, cure, heal, mitigate any disease or diagnose any disease. I'm just sharing my experience with you and what I've learned and what I think is going to change people's lives forever if we can learn how to manage oxidative stress, because that's really what was wrong with me with that Lyme disease. It was just this absolute huge amount. And I'm going to show you the testing I had done to actually prove that how bad my oxidative stress was. But it's related to over 200 diseases. And we're now seeing more weird autoimmune diseases of gut inflammation and things like that. All of this is associated with oxidative stress, and so is cancer, diabetes, heart disease, all of those things. And if you want to do research on this, I invite you guys to go to the National Institutes of Health Library of Medicine. It's called pubmed.gov. And every day more studies get posted there that have been peer reviewed, which means that they have very significant validation to them. If you want to get a published article that's peer reviewed, you have to have other experts that you don't know go and try to shoot holes in that before it can be published. So this is the best place to look for data. So I want to talk to you guys about free radicals. Basically, free radicals are loose electrons in your cells just from breathing in air and being a mammal. So you're breathing in oxygen, and that oxygen is causing this oxidation, which is free radical damage inside the cells. And that's what's building up the oxidative stress on the body. And so all of these things that are around us in our society, the toxins, the heavy metals, the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, the smoke that maybe both my parents smoked. Apparently when my mother gave birth to me, she was smoking cigarettes in the delivery room. They let you smoke in the hospital back then. So all of this stuff around us, UV radiation, is affecting our cells. It's affecting our DNA. It's affecting our mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of our cells, and is damaging the blueprint of our bodies. And so all of this stuff, this oxidative stress that's building up, is damaging your DNA. And that's what's causing the mutations that cause cancer. All of us have these mutations. We all have this going on all the time. We can't avoid it. But if we could turn that heat down a little bit by reducing this oxidative stress and these free radicals, then that would be really fantastic. And that's what antioxidants are supposed to do. So, as I said, there's this new area of science that is really changing due to the advancements of how fast the computer is. It can manage data and look at things like genetics and your genome. And there's a lot of companies that are being developed. And last year, I was blown away because I'm really into this stuff now and actually have a business around this. And every magazine that is meaningful to me, Smithsonian, there were so many, National Geographic, these magazines, Scientific American, over and over. Last year, everyone was on longevity and on genetics. So we're really looking at how to extend life by biohacking the body. And that's what has been so expensive. There will be a cheap way to look at your entire genome, which right now takes like 48 hours to map out, usually about $100,000. Now they're saying it'll be $100, within probably 5 years. So we're all going to know every single aspect of our genome. I did get my genome tested back in 2005, and I just want to show you guys just what you could see when you do something like this. This isn't my whole genome. This is my methylation, like my detoxification. They're called phase 1 and phase 2 enzymes that my body makes. And you can see that anytime there's a plus sign, it means there's a mutation. So I'm a slow metabolizer of certain things. So that's really good to know, like really slow metabolizer of certain drugs. Like if I were to take Valium or something, it would metabolize really, really slowly, which means that I don't need as much. And then there's some that go really fast that just blow through your body. So it just depends on, your own polymorphism. Glutathione, which is the master regulator detoxification molecule in the body, that is absent completely from certain organs in my body, like my liver and my kidney. So what that means is that glutathione, which is the detoxification molecule to clean out my body, doesn't work in my liver and my kidney. So that means, so all my friends out there that party with me, you're going, Amy, what are you doing? You shouldn't be drinking alcohol. So what I know is that I have to have tremendous amounts of foods like, cruciferous vegetables. And I learned all this stuff, you guys, a long time ago. And this was really helpful when I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, knowing these things. And also there's something called, oxidative protection. This is protecting your cells from oxidative stress, something called superoxide dismutase, SOD1 and SOD2. Superoxide dismutase is the most powerful enzyme that your body makes to neutralize free radicals in mammals. And I have a 1 SNP mutation on SOD2 for my mitochondria. So that means I have to be super, super careful to take care of my mitochondria. And again, that's going to be with certain foods and mostly cruciferous vegetables. So that's something that, I wanted to show you guys this because this is something that you can have tested. This is from Genova Diagnostics. There's another one here. I just want to I'm showing you guys this just so you understand like the lengths I went to try to get better from my Lyme. And again, here, this is phase 1 detoxification. And here I have some major issues where my gene results I'm missing, like this first one, CYP1A1. This is going to have, it means that I can't handle like exhaust fumes, like on an airplane, like benzene and stuff like that, and charbroiled meat. So I'm not supposed to be eating barbecue, and neither are you guys. That's just like burnt meat is the worst thing for detoxification. And a lot of people don't know they have this stuff. So, this is really important information. I just wanted to share it with you guys because we're all walking around and all this stuff's available and doctors don't even test this. Like look at in here, it shows CYP2C19. See, I have a problem with that one. That means that I can't take things like Valium or anticonvulsants, Prilosec, proton pump inhibitors, like my husband used to take every day. And now he's off of them completely because of the biohacking that we've been doing. But like if I took like Prilosec or one of those things that reduces acid in my body, it would be a disaster for my body. It would be horrible. It would just build up inside my system. So we're walking around without most people knowing any of this stuff. And I just, I think that knowing these things are like super important. You don't have to spend gazillion dollars to do this, but it is something that I wanted to share with you guys because I know there's a lot of people out there who have sick people, and I invite sick children especially. I invited some people on tonight. I don't know if they're going to be able to be here, but I wanted to show you some of the testing that I certainly would be doing with my kids. So this is a pile of vitamins pretty much that looked like I was taking for a really long time. I was doing about 40 supplements a day, all different kinds of natural, like the most expensive pharmaceutical grade supplements is what I was using for my Lyme disease. I didn't take medication other than 3 times taking doxycycline, large doses of doxycycline. I never did IV antibiotics. I had pretty bad Lyme, but I just wouldn't go there. So I want to show you guys something called an oxidative stress test. And again, it's from that same lab, Genova Diagnostics, which is one of the largest labs in the world. And what this shows is something called lipid peroxidation. And that is it's a buildup of this peroxidation from oxidative stress in the body. And so this shows you don't want to be above 1.72. I was 3.61 when I was using the most expensive supplements and literally like a macrobiotic diet. I was still 3.61. So my thing almost went off the page. Like I was 100 years old. Now this was in 2012 in the fall of 2012. And this is when I learned about a biohacking supplement that absolutely, absolutely changed my life. And I'm going to show you guys the results after a year. Actually, it was about a year and a half of taking something that's a little yellow pill. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Here it is right here. I started taking this little yellow pill and I went off of all my other supplements. And I'm going to share with you what's in this little yellow pill. But this yellow pill is a gene activator. It activates the genome in the body to turn on that SOD that I talked to you guys about. That's the most potent free radical scavenger in mammals. It turns that on better than anything else right now that's been tested. And let me just show you what happened for me after I took that little yellow pill. You can see that I went down to 1.58. So that was a 56% reduction. So now I was back in the clear. Okay, I'm over here. I'm still high. I haven't had, this was in 2014. So this was 16 months after I started taking the little yellow pill. I didn't take anything else. That's all I took. And then I had my T-bars tested again. And this is what happened with that little yellow pill. And this has totally changed my life. I don't have arthritis in my feet anymore. I don't have my brain fog anymore. I don't spend $500 a month on supplements anymore. I don't have all that leftover residue in my body from supplements that I couldn't detox anymore. I have a natural product with 5 herbs in it in my body, and it's called nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is nutrition and plants and dietary components that change the expression of your genes, period, end of story. That is the new area of science. This is going to be absolutely huge. Nobody knows about this information sort of in mainstream society. If you were to go into like CVS or Vitamin Shop or any of those, or even talk to your doctors and ask them what dietary components would change their gene expression, they're not even going to know what you're talking about. You'd have to be talking to like a molecular biologist. The fact that I got this information 5.5 years ago from somebody that loves me and cares about me because she heard about it has completely blown my world upside down and made my life like amazing. So I just want you guys to understand that we are on the forefront of something huge with this. All the leading scientists, the brain doctors, it's the gut doctors, they're all writing New York Times bestselling books all about this. And it's talking about how foods change and interact with your DNA, moment to moment, changing the expression of your genes. Your genes are your blueprint. Some are good ones and some are bad ones. And you got them from your, from your parents, your grandparents. Now they're showing that this goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Like you have cell memory and all kinds of crazy stuff. And the point is that you can change that. Only 2 to 3% of your genes are actually coded permanently. They can be changed by what you do, by taking a little yellow pill or doing certain things like yoga and meditation and living a happier life. I was a financial advisor for 30 years and I retired when I was 50 because I was just fried. And then a year after that, I started taking the little yellow pill and my whole life changed. So it's biohacking. It's cracking the code to your DNA. And this is a paradigm shift that's happening in the area of wellness and natural medicine. And there's a lot of wonderful things that are out there that change the expression of your genes. So the food that you eat, I know you guys look at some of my Facebook posts, all this stuff. There's a reason that I do this. It's to save my life and to save my family's life. And hopefully I can save somebody else's life tonight that's on here. So the company that makes, the product is called Protandem, is a company called Life Vantage. And it is a publicly traded company. It trades on the NASDAQ. We did about $208 million in sales last year. It's the only supplement proven to extend life. I want to show you guys something really cool. Not everybody cares about life extension, but what's the most important part of this research at NIH was that it showed that the mice, this was a mouse study, because we don't have enough time to test it on humans to see how long they live because we'll be dead by then. So I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old to find out that I should have taken this. So basically what they did is they did a mouse study. And I want to show you guys some of the results from that. There is I'll just do this. This was a completely third-party periodical on longevity. And it's showing new results from life extending. So this at the National Institute on Aging, which is part of the NIH, has been for 11 years studying life extension, looking at different drugs, mostly antibiotics, rapamycin. They've been looking at metformin, which is a diabetes drug, and some other estradiol, which is a hormone. I'm actually use a little bit of that. I've just recently started, 56 years old. I started doing a little bit of bioidentical hormones. Feel pretty good. Just kind of checking that out. But I wanted to show you that Protandem is a mixture of 5 botanical extracts: milk thistle, bacopa, ashwagandha green tea, and turmeric. This mixture was an excellent activator of the NRF2 pathway, upregulating antioxidants and stress defenses in the body, which is exactly what I just talked to you guys about. That was in my genetic test. And we all have those. And those are what are going to save our butt, is for NRF2 activation. So what this showed was that Protandem was the only natural activator that actually worked, okay, in this particular study. So there wasn't any other supplement. They studied fish oil. They studied green tea. They studied curcumin, turmeric. They studied resveratrol, which is the red wine extract, and it was just absolutely incredible. So I wanted to show you guys that because I think it's kind of cool that we have this type of research at LifeVantage. We also have a lot of other research at LifeVantage. And a lot of it is on this area of NRF2. This NRF2 protein is it's a protein that binds to your DNA sequence. So remember, we all have our little blueprint, that DNA that was in the middle of that slide when I first got started. And there's little receptors on there, and the NRF2 binds to a DNA sequence and turns on your body's ability to make its own enzyme, protective genes and enzymes, neutralizing free radicals much more powerfully than any kind of antioxidant that you could ever consume. So when you see this side-by-side comparison, this NRF2 activation, this is how those enzymes get turned on. This is what we have to activate in order for the enzyme production to turn on to protect your cells from oxidative stress. And so the little yellow pill right now is the most potent activator of this NRF2 pathway. Broccoli is the other natural. It's called sulforaphane. It comes out of Johns Hopkins. It's an extract. It's very popular in supplements, and it's being touted as like the most powerful NRF2 activator, and it's not, just so you guys know. When you start studying this, you'll see that the protandim is a much more powerful NRF2 activator, and that's the only way to turn on those defensive enzymes in the body. So there's 5 ingredients. We have patents on this, and the best part of this is we can actually make a medical claim that this reduces oxidative stress in humans an average of 40% in 30 days. That's why my results were so good for my oxidative stress test. I didn't want to just test it in a month. I was feeling so good after like 5 days. I said, I'm just going to take this for a year and see what happens. And it just kept getting better and better. So I waited. I'm probably going to get another one just for fun. It's been 5 years since I had the last one. And I'll report back to you guys with that. I'm going to show you some pictures of what I used to look like when I got married, and you can't even believe this stuff. So these are the ingredients. There's a specific ratio. I don't have enough time to go into how the ratio works, but just realize that you can't just take these ingredients individually and have the NRF2 activation. It doesn't work that way. It's a chemical reaction of these things together, and they're very low doses. So if anybody's worried about any of these ingredients, like some people worry about milk thistle being a blood thinner, it's very low amount of milk thistle. We don't have any contraindications with other medications with this, unless somebody's taking an anti-rejection medication for if you have a liver or some kind of an organ transplant. So that's a little bit of an issue. So I like to look at this as quantum biology, and I have a lot of science people in my life, and a friend of mine came up with this word, literally like it's a signal that goes through the whole body, and it's so much bigger than any one antioxidant that you can consume. They work at a 1-to-1 ratio. One molecule of antioxidant, like all those ones I was taking, and my oxidative stress was 100 years old person. And then the protandim is 1,000,000 to 1. So one enzyme, SOD enzyme, that you saw in my chart, I can still make some of that stuff, is going to neutralize 1,000,000 free radicals per second every second. This is quantum. This is like quantum physics in the body. No comparison. And this is why that one pill did what it did. Now, there are people that take more than one pill a day. We have a lot of really sick people with autoimmune conditions, cancer. Again, we can't make medical claims, but there are people that sometimes take more than one a day. Now, we do have 26 published studies at LifeVantage on protandim NRF2. And so these are some of the organizations that have done research on this and have published studies on this. I can show you guys another quick little link that you can look to that also has, let's see, here we go, peer-reviewed studies. I love this kind of stuff. I'm a science geek. This is something that I'm happy to share with anybody. Now, what I did here is this has, let's see, let me make this bigger. So we have 26 studies. 23 of them are at pubmed.gov. Now, what this does is just kind of scrolls through the different peer-reviewed studies. Now, I want you to, whatever supplement you're taking, go to pubmed.gov, G-O-V, P-U-B-M-E-D.gov, put in the supplement and see if it's on there. Because I'll bet you $5 to every single person on here each. I don't know how many people are on this. That is not, that supplement's not on there. I've only found maybe 3 or 4 supplements out of the thousands of supplements in the world that are actually on PubMed.gov, because they don't have any studies that have been peer reviewed. So this just kind of walks through, the research: Protandim, Nerve2 activation, glutathione, which is that remember that molecule I talked about that my liver and kidney doesn't make, but my brain and my skin makes it like perfectly. This is turned on by 300%. Now, a lot of people are going to do IV glutathione right now. They go and they do these injections, and they sit in a chair like they have cancer and do IV glutathione, IV vitamins for hangovers and all that. It only works for a very short period of time. It does help a little bit, but usually like 48 hours, and then it's over. This is your own body's glutathione being made inside the body by upregulating NRF2. So I'm just going to give you like, oh, this is pretty cool, how Protandim protects the heart, cardioprotective effects of Protandim, preserved heart function, and it reduced something called osteopontin, which creates like a scar tissue. Like, does anybody have scar tissue problems out there? What if you had something that could reduce scar tissue or mitigate scar tissue? Like all the athletes that are out there, like me, who go skiing, and I have scar tissue all over my body, my ankles, I have it in my feet from injuries, and my knees and stuff like that. This was published by the American Heart Association. So I just want to show you, like, do you guys know what Circulation Magazine is? It's the American Heart Association. This is not like this is the most reputable heart journal in the world that goes to cardiologists throughout the world. That's the membership of this. It's the first time that a branded supplement has ever been published in Circulation Magazine. And this talks about how Protandim preserved heart cell function and reduced scar tissue in the body. So that's just, when you guys go online and you look up Protandim and you go, oh my gosh, it's a scam. When you just stop at the first page of Google, I don't want you to do that. I want you to be like a real researcher and go past the first page of Google. Most people think that when they start researching this, they go, oh, Amy, they call me back, oh, this is a scam. And I go, really? I did a little bit more research than just the first page of Google. So you guys have to understand that even a 5th grader, if they were writing a book report, they can't just quote Google. It has to be from Google Scholar, scholar.google.com. That's where you want to do research, because it gets rid of all the bloggers that are, how big the nutrition space is? It's the fastest growing sector of the economy right now. It's this wellness sector. There's a lot of crap out there where people are making a lot of money with pay-per-click ads. So just know that this is real, and I could show you, I could spend an hour with you guys. I was going to try to keep this to 30 minutes. I'm going to spend probably another 10 minutes, and then we're going to be done. Sanjay Gupta wrote in his book, Chasing Life, he wrote a whole chapter on this. And more than 30 years ago, Dr. Joe McCord was looking for the function of one obscure enzyme when he stumbled on another. He discovered something called SOD, superoxide dismutase. Joe McCord discovered SOD, that enzyme that neutralizes free radicals at a rate of 1 million per second every second. He formulated Protandim. Now, when you go Google that, there are some other people that worked with Dr. McCord. He was an employee. He was hired as a consultant of LifeVantage. And there were some other people involved at the beginning of this company. He formulated this. The patent is in the name of LifeVantage. So just don't freak out. Oh, he didn't formulate it. Do your research. If you have any questions, call me. This was a huge new way of fighting free radicals, was activating this superoxide dismutase. And so they used to think that antioxidants were the answer, right? This is not a dead topic. We've been looking at the wrong ones. The focus can be how we can supplement our diets to increase levels of 2 enzymes that do the heavy lifting when it comes to neutralizing free radicals. The first one is superoxide dismutase, okay, and catalase, which is the other one. And a lot of people, when they take Protandim, they also have their hair that was gray starts to go back to black again, because catalase reduces hydrogen peroxide in the cell. So these 2 enzymes are responsible for scavenging 99% of the free radicals in the body. So if we can produce these enzymes, it would be a better job at fighting free radicals. But you can't take SOD pills, just so you know. So a lot of supplements have SOD in them. It doesn't work. It doesn't. So we know that, and you can research that too. And there's going to be a lot of companies that say SOD works if you just supplement with it, and it doesn't. So you can do research on your own on that. This is whether this translates into longer life remains to be unseen. Well, guess what? You just saw the life extension, that Protandim is the only supplement proven to extend life in a mammal to date. 7% median life extension in a male mammal, 3% in a female. And so it was not statistically significant in the female, so they can't quote that, but it did extend life in the female, and it also extended the health span. They had better grip strength, their hair looked better, and these are the 5 ingredients that we talked about. Just so you guys know, I was taking all of those ingredients individually when I had that testing done, because these are the ingredients that are supposed to turn on SOD, but it has to be done through this NRF2 pathway. So I just want to show you guys a picture here. Now here's some mice that are some taking Protandim on the right. Now I just want you to look at their hair. Okay, so let's look at these guys over here. So these guys are taking the placebo. They don't know it, right? But look at their hair. It's like thinning, it's white. These guys have like lighter hair. It's not as dark. And then look at these guys. Look how dark the hair is on these mice. See that? All right. These guys, look how good these guys look. They're all the same age from the same, in the same study. So this is out of Johns Hopkins, that research there. So I just want to show you guys something. This was me when I got married. Now I have an 18-year-old son. My husband and I got married 15 years ago. We waited a little while. I didn't want to get married again. But I wanted to show you this because I want to show you. I'm going to pull back so you can see these on the same slide at the same time. Let's see here. All right. Now, this is me 2 days ago at a convention, and I was totally exhausted. I'd been running around like a lunatic. I didn't have any makeup on. And I just want you guys to see. Now, this is a Protandim person today, taking Protandim in the body, taking Protandim on my face, because there's a Protandim cream, which is right here. And I hope you guys can see me. I think you can. I have a little picture of me up there. So I'm 56 years old in this picture. And this picture was 15 years ago. Picture above, 15 years ago. Look at my eyelid. Look at the skin here. And look at there. Okay. And that was with makeup and everything at my wedding. And look at here. I mean, this like freaks me out when I see this. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. I thought that was kind of cool. And here's my protocol today. This is the little yellow pill. We have come out with some more things that are absolutely changing my life again more. We've had these for a couple years. I'm going to walk through real quickly what these are for mitochondria. And there's a whole new area that the mitochondria has its own genome. It's called NRF1, is a protein activator there that upregulates that to make more mitochondria. So I have a lot more energy. And I showed you guys I have a mitochondrial mutation. So I really, really needed this, and it helped me a lot. We have a fish oil that is the cleanest fish oil of any supplement I've ever taken. I've been taking fish oil for years. I stopped taking it once I started the little yellow pill until we started adding these other things. I just didn't take anything else. And then we also have a probiotic, which is these 3. But this is my protocol, and this is my little biohacking brain drink. And that's it today. There's no more bowls of supplements. It's over. And this is just like the greatest experience because I feel so good. And I wanted to share that with you guys. That's my program. Once in a while, I'll do some B12. I'll get a shot once in a while if I'm super stressed out. My D3, I do a little bit of that. So these are the 2 products, Protandim NRF1 and NRF2. This is the NRF1 is for the mitochondria. And that is something that many people, and I think there's some folks on here where that I was talking to earlier today where they have problems with autoimmune conditions, and a lot of that's associated with mitochondrial dysfunction. So we really want to beef up the mitochondria and give it the ability to make more mitochondria and also make it in a healthy way, because a lot of times it replicates with errors and it causes a lot of problems. People get very, very tired. And so these are the ingredients inside the NRF1 activator. So that's our newer product. It's a companion to our NRF2 Protandim. I've been taking this for about 1.5 years now. Beautiful ingredients, absolutely a remarkable product, and something that I haven't seen anything else like this on the market that does what this does. I was taking these ingredients individually. I was taking coenzyme Q10 and alpha lipoic acid and quercetin for the Lyme with all that group of pills before. Now, you saw my skin a couple minutes ago. This is the ingredients in our skin product. How beautiful is that? It's basically cruciferous, brassica, black pepper, and then the same ingredients as Protandim, except for ashwagandha is not in this. And this is an incredible product. 91% of the people in our clinical trial had said they were going to buy it again. Now, usually, if you have a 40% acceptance rate on a product, you have an absolute home run. Like, you know that you're going to have a hugely successful product. 91% of the people that did this, they had no idea what they were using, said they wanted to keep using it, and they were going to tell somebody else about it. So that is why my skin looks as the way it does, is because I'm using this, and also because taking the Protandim. So it's an inside-out approach. It also protects your skin from UV radiation and reduces something called thymine dimers, which cause genetic mutations and skin cancer, which we have 2 skin cancer studies. So also, this is just letting you guys know how clean this is. There's also no benzene in this, which this slide needs to be updated, because benzene I cannot tolerate whatsoever. It's terrible for me. So this is the brain drink I was telling you guys about, all natural, no sugar. It has a little stevia extract for sweetening, which, by the way, stevia is a NRF2 activator, and it's actually really, really good for you. So if you are worried about using stevia, I don't really like the taste of it, but it's actually really good for you. So don't be afraid of using stevia and having it in other drinks, because I was concerned about that, because these artificial sweeteners have caused a lot of problems, but this is a natural one. And everything else in this is all around brain focus. So this is an executive functioning drink. So for people that have ADHD, autism, attention deficit, receptive expressive learning disorder, like my son, dyslexia, like my son, game changer. My son, who's 18, is on all of these products and has had, like, I want to do a video with him so he can talk to you guys about the benefits that he's had using this stuff. And the other thing that's super, super important is the probiotic. Probiotics are a huge category now. And we have a very, very special probiotic. LifeVantage doesn't make anything just like, oh, just a Me Too product. They added 2 different things to this product that made it superior to any other probiotic on the market today. And what they did is they put something called BioTrack technology around the outside of the pill and on the inside. It's an outer and inner core. It has 12-hour time release. So 60% of it gets down into the lower intestine. All those colony-forming units will go to where they were supposed to go, when on average probiotics are 5 to 8%. That's why you have all those huge amount of CFUs in those. This only has 6 billion CFUs, but it doesn't need any more than that, because 60% of it goes where it's supposed to go. And it has something called Wellmune, which is a beta-glucan, which is boosting your immune system. And a lot of physicians are prescribing beta-glucans for the immune system, because so many people's immune systems are so weak now. And with this flu season, very few people that I know using these products got the flu. Like no one in my family got the flu. All my friends, kids got the flu. All Eddie's friends got the flu. He was hanging out with them, never got the flu. I mean, I'm just telling you guys, I can't make medical claims around. I'm just telling you, if somebody's taking this probiotic with the Protandim, there's a pretty low probability that they're going to get the flu. So this is how we have our products now. This is the daily stack, and you can see the pills inside. They're really fresh. You can also buy bottles, but this is how I'm using it now. This is recyclable. You can just throw it in your recycle, and it's $151 a month for this protocol, and this is all you need. You don't need anything else. This is it. And this is the most important stack on the market for biohacking. We also have a product for dogs, the Pet Tandem, which is Protandim for dogs, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And I think I'm going to wrap on this, because I know I'm a little bit over where I was supposed to be, and I really appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Whoever invited you on to this cares about you, loves you. Love to be able to answer questions for you. I'm not going to open it up right now because of the recording, but I will take a few questions. I'm going to end the recording. I just want to say thank you guys. If you have any questions at all, feel free to message me, Amy Holmwood. I know I invited a lot of folks, and of course, whoever invited you, please get back to them to learn more about this.